Hello and welcome to the Green Machine Podcast, your Irish football news and nostalgia, where you, the fans, get to have your say. I'm Nick, anchoring tonight with Martin and with Dave, who is live in Athens tonight. So that's why Dave isn't anchoring. He's on the steps of the stadium. So his just a little disclaimer: his coverage might be a little bit dodgy, but look, Dave is dodgy himself. So what can you do, lads? How are we getting on? We looking forward to tomorrow night's game?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I've been looking forward to this one for a long time. Seems quite a while now that we have played. This is it. It's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, and can I just say it's great to see you wearing the Greek colours, Martin.
That's it. Our Green Machine badge. It's very like a Greek team, isn't it?
So I'm wearing
Martin, the Greek.
And I'm wearing
dodgy as always.
Dodgy as always, with a few tickets in his suitcase. Anyway, and I'm wearing my Panathinaikos jersey by the looks of things. Anyway, so Dave, you are live at the stadium. You're just out of the press conference. Do you want to give us a little update from Athens?
Yeah. Well, Stephen Kenny in relaxed mood. The player he was with was John Egan. I imagine he'll be your pal. He'll be captaining the team tomorrow. Yeah, just chatting about the usual stuff. These press conferences, you don't really get to learn a lot. These guys are media trained.
Tick the box exercise.
Gus Poyet, though, he was asked about Gus Poyet's comment earlier on saying that with Ireland were so good against France, but they were playing a containment style football. They reckon that's going to be quite different here tomorrow night. Yeah. So very interesting. But yeah, everyone very relaxed, everyone in good mood. Chatted about maybe McLean. He's very close. He could, in theory, I think he's on 98 caps, isn't he? He could, in theory, get his 100 cap by Monday against Gibraltar if he features. But I have a feeling Martin is going to be a happy man tomorrow, from what I got.
All right, okay. A certain why? Because his relation will be starting, or because his lover will be starting?
Yeah. Caught by name, caught by nature.
Right, lads. Yeah. So look, very important game tomorrow. As we know, third place will get you a playoff. So we are vying really with the Greeks, with the Dutch and the French, considered the first and second seeds. Well, they are the first and second seeds, aren't they? Then, of course, Gibraltar's come on Monday. So let's talk a little bit about the Greeks, lads. So we've done a bit of research, watched a couple of packages and done a bit of research on the stats. So as we know, the Greeks, so managed by Gus Poyet. So again, a lot of people will be very, very familiar with Gus Poyet, formerly of Chelsea, formerly of Spurs, has managed in England with Brighton. And Jesus, I've gone blank. Who's your team? Sunderland as well. So again, a Chelsea fan favourite, and someone who made quite an impression over the years. So just to give you an idea of where they are at the moment. So Poyet took over 12 games ago. And in that time, he's won 7, drawn 2 and lost 3. And the Greeks, the last time that they lost was in 2019 at home. Sorry, at home that they've lost. 2019 against the Spanish. Their FIFA ranking is 52. And in their last 10 games, they have won 6, drawn 2, and lost 2. And their record against Ireland, so 2 wins and 1 draw. We've only played them 3 times. And we've never scored against the Greeks. So I think that's something worth keeping in mind. Could that duck be broken tomorrow night, lads?
I reckon so. I mean, I know I put the facts all together, but I'm going to piss all over it. Those facts really mean nothing.
Yeah.
I don't think we played it for over 10 years. I think we can. I really think we can. Personally, I think if we go in, play the game, plays the right team, the right team, the right midfield. Although, I know we're going to get to that in a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really think we can hurt them. These guys are no great shakes. Yeah. And it'll be cool tomorrow night. It'll be a 9:45 kickoff, and a half an hour from where we are now. It's nice and mild, so the temperature won't play. If they go out and play their game, I reckon we can come away with 3 points.
Yep, 100%. Just to go through, I suppose, some of the key players. So there's players that we will be familiar with. There's a couple of them, just a name. So George Baldock of Sheffield United, their right back. So he declared for Greece a couple of years ago. He kind of did a Tom Cannon, didn't he? But look, let's not mention that. So he is playing for them now. He is a starter with them. And Kostas Samakis of Liverpool. So the 2 fullbacks we'd be very, very familiar with, of course, will both be Premier League fullbacks next season. And of course, former Celtic striker Georgios Giannakomakis. These names are very easy to pronounce. So he's with Atlanta United, of course, formerly a Celtic. And only a couple of days ago, he became the quickest player to score 10 goals for the club, which isn't exactly hard in the MLS, isn't it? But again, a player that we we'd be very familiar with, and particularly the Celtic fans over here in Ireland. Now, just a little bit of news from the Greek perspective. So this is considered one of the poorest Greek teams in recent times, and there's not too many fans of Gus Poyet at the moment in the public. So just to bear that in mind. And Poyet did come under fire just a couple of weeks ago. So he did omit Kostas Fortounis of Olympiacos. So a few Champions League fans, I suppose, will be very, very familiar with that man. And another key player that he did omit, and this is almost like a kind of Trapattoni admission or omission, Anastasios Douvekas of Utrecht. So he's a 23-year-old striker who's just after winning the Eredivisie Golden Boot. Now, he has since been called into the squad, but he came under a huge amount of pressure since that. So not necessarily the most popular man, probably mixed opinions of Poyet. I mean, has got that bit of experience in England, does have that bit of experience in Spain, as well as a manager, but this isn't exactly the strongest Greek side we're going to take on tomorrow night, lads, is it? But certainly not as underestimate either.
He always falls out. Whatever team he goes to, he always gets hounded out, doesn't he? I think he just plays a dour style of football. Such a flary player. Great player for Spurs and Chelsea, but he always just, to me, but anywhere he's gone, he just plays this dour, turgid style of football that no one really wants to watch.
Yeah, 100%. It's a very contained kind of game that they played. Like, I watched a couple of packages on them. And just to go through a couple of the key men, we mentioned some of the men that people will be familiar with, of course, Baldock, Tismakis, and Giancomakis, easy for me to say, as you would say, Dave. But some of the other players, I mean, their goalkeeper, and just to kind of go back to the little graphic there, oh, fantastic. Look at that, Gus Poyet. So their goalkeeper, Odysseas Vlachodomis of Benfica. So he's considered one of the top goalkeepers in Europe, apparently, according to a couple of articles that I looked up. So he would have played Champions League football, very, very highly rated. Defender Konstantinos Mavropanos of Stuttgart, formerly of Arsenal. So Arsenal fans be very familiar with him. Their striker Vagilenas Pavlidis of AZ Alkmaar. So another player who is considered one of the key strikers and their starting striker. Now, whether or not he starts tomorrow remains to be seen, but again, a very, very important player. But the kind of, I suppose, the glue that knits them together are midfielders Petros Mantalis of AEK Athens, who will be playing in his home stadium tomorrow night, and captain Antosias Bakastesas of Trabzonspor. Both very technically gifted players who can retain the ball very well, and they really dictate that the way that the Greeks play with their 4-3-3 system, a very compact system, although they can be sloppy at times. They can be compact. They are traditionally kind of known for not conceding many goals. If you think back to Otto Rehhagel when they won Euro 2004, very, very compact team. But although they're compact, they are kind of prone to mistakes, and they do like to hold on to the possession. They do like to hold on to the possession, lads, and they are one of those teams that will just put the foot in the ball. They'll slow the play down. It's going to be very, very hot tomorrow, and that's their style of play. Part of the reason why Jason Malumbi will be so important tomorrow. So what do we make of that Greek side, lads, coming into the game?
I think it's quite reassuring to know that, you know, some of these players are very familiar in a sense to people watching Champions League and stuff. These teams all seem to have 2 or 3 kind of names that we know. And then they have a star player who seems to always fall out with the manager. This happens with Ireland quite often, doesn't it? We seem to always have a come up against a team and their star player has fallen out with the manager, or it's kind of a bit of a power play. So it's quite reassuring to know that happens with those teams. I mean, it's a big thing for them calling that Douvekas back. You know, the star players in these games, they do seem to perform as well. I don't want to jinx it by saying that, but you know, that is a bit of a concern that he's obviously the Golden Boot winner and he's coming back into the squad, so he'll have a point to prove. But the key thing for us in this match is keeping hold of the ball and retaining it and being very, very patient. And that's what I really want us to see us doing now tomorrow. And I think, to be fair, on Stephen Kenny, I think doing the acclimatization camp was very, very clever. You know, it's been an exceptionally long time since some of these players played in the Championship where most of our players are based. So to keep them ticking over, calling up that squad, having them work hard now as they are, I think there's no excuses now going into tomorrow. This is a massive, massive game. I think Gus Poyet said today that realistically, it's a game that none of these teams can afford to lose. And I think that's actually quite poignant, really. I think we cannot afford to lose this game.
I really think, you know, just to further on Martin's point there, we've nothing to lose here in this game. If we go in, do our stuff, play the style of football we can, the way we did against Scotland, the way we should do the business here. The lads are fit. They're well prepared. They had a great week in Turkey, look relaxed. You know, I was watching them in training there as well in the stadium. Looked very, very relaxed,
Yeah.
very happy. John O'Shea putting them through the paces. They just go and just do the stuff. It will be hot, but remember, it'll be hot during the day. It's been played at 9:45, and also that's twofold, isn't it? That's double edged because I don't. That takes away the excuse, doesn't it, for the away side?
Mm.
It won't be that hot. Like this is mild. This is perfect right now. This will be around the same time. It's a 9:45 local time kickoff. It's now about 20 past 9 here. This would be absolutely fine. And it was boiling today, so
well,
we've
even
nothing
though
to
they
fear.
even though they grow up in that climate, they still have to play in that heat. You know, it is difficult. But
Yeah.
and the other thing to keep in mind, they're professional athletes. That's why they went to Turkey. That's why why they did the strength and
Exactly.
conditioning.
They're well prepared. Well
Yeah,
prepared.
as fans, guys, because there has been a bit of narrative since the draw came out, and people are saying that this Greek team is awful. Like that record, I mean, it isn't too bad, but you have to keep in mind that they play in a lower division of the Nations League. A couple of those results again are against real minnows. I mean, they lost to Cyprus recently enough, as did we all those years ago. But are we underestimating this Greek team? Are we maybe paying them a little bit of disrespect since that draw has come out?
I don't think we are. I mean, they won their Group C, their Pot C, shall we say. They drew with a Malta team. To be fair, we almost drew with it as well in November. They drew with them before we played them. But I think people will look at Greece, and we do this in football, don't we? We think, oh, they won the European Cup 20 years ago. That was 20 years ago. The European Championship, that was 20 years ago. No, I really don't think we have anything to fear from these guys. Go in, do it, forget about the rest of it. Just get the job done. Get it done.
I think if Stephen Kenny wants to kind of progress as a coach of Ireland, the manager, and qualify for tournaments and stuff, we've got to be winning these games anyway. Now, this is the level of our team in the Nations League. We've got to be putting these teams away and getting results on our travels. And I think we're well capable of nicking a 1-0, 2-0 win over here, and being very professional and very contained. I think that's what we've got to do. Like I said during the week, I'm not worried about Gibraltar Monday. We'll put them away without a doubt. But it's this game is what it's all about. We've got to get a result. We've got to go into, and that will bounce then nice and positively into the game on Monday.
We've always struggled, you know, maybe except for 2002 campaign, we've always struggled with beating teams, especially on the Trapattoni. Teams that are thereabouts, you know, around our level. We've always, you know, got a 1-1 draw or whatever, scraped like a last minute draw, that kind of thing. This is something that he really wants to take. If we are to be a team of substance under Stephen Kenny, we have to go here, do the business tomorrow night. Otherwise, it's just the same old, same old.
If we lose tomorrow, guys, is Kenny under pressure?
Massively.
You think?
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think so. This is a team we're competing with for third place, so we've got to put them away. And not if we lose, I'd say. And also though, I think if we get a draw, that's not the worst result in the world. No. But because we are a team in progression still, I would say that. But you know, he will be very disappointed, I think, if we don't get a win here, to be honest. And I know that's not overreaching.
We're not in progression though, are we?
We've had 2 or 3 years now of it, and this is where he's got his more settled squad. He's trusting his players. He's actually said we're on the verge of creating history in a sense, and that's what he's challenged them to do, because in European competitions we've not had a great record of beating teams of this level, have we? And I think that's what we need to get, that result. I mean, we did against Austria, didn't we, when we won with McLean scoring? That was in the World Cup qualifiers. We haven't done that in Europe, though, the European competition. So,
like the way I look at it is, progression will be a win tomorrow. Like, I mean, you can set you can set up to draw. You can set up to draw, and we're well capable of getting draws. We're a team. Look, bar maybe a couple of hammerings in the past, Germany at home and Cyprus and so on, but we don't tend to get hammered by the big teams. It's the teams around our level and a little bit below our level that we really struggled against. And yes, the heat will be a factor. The heat will be a factor, absolutely. But the real measure of progression under Stephen Kenny will be a victory tomorrow. Now, in my opinion, if we lose tomorrow, I don't think Kenny will go. I don't think it'll be anything like that. But if we lose tomorrow, it's completely out of our hands. And it's a little bit like the Scotland situation, you know, back for Euro 2016, where we're relying on Greece to slip up, which they very well could. And then we have to get a result against the French or the Dutch. So we need to win tomorrow. A draw will be novel, but we need to win if we want to have a chance.
Let's put into context. Obviously, if we go here tomorrow and we hit the crossbar about 5 million times and it just won't go in, and they get a last minute winner and we lose, that's not the end of, it might be the end of our campaign. It's not the end of the world. That's that. If we come here and it's a repeat of Armenia, where the 40th minute, and I think this is what fans are worried about. You can see by the 40 minutes not working. We don't make a substitution till the 75th minute. They score in the 80th minute, and we go out. That's what we don't want to see. We want to see if it's not. We want to see it work from the start, but we want to see action. If it's not working, be proactive. Don't wait till it's too late, which we've done in the past. And I think stuff happens in football. Freak results, fine. People will be forgiven, but I'm going on there a bit, but I think
we need to keep the ball tomorrow. I think that's the key thing. It's going to be warm. We need to keep the ball. That's, like I said earlier. Look, Jason Malumbi's going to be key, and the reason is, like, I don't think Malumbi keeps the ball extremely well, but what he will do is those two lads in midfield, you know that I mentioned, you know, Manteles and Bakatias, those two lads literally just hold on to the ball. They just hold on to the ball. They slow it down, but they create a tempo, and that causes the opposition to sit back, and that causes the opposition to invite the pressure on, just from them slowing the ball down. Like, just going on the footage that I've seen of them in the last few games, if you've Jason Malumbi running at them lads, they're not going to have much time with the ball. But having said that, we need to be proactive on the ball ourselves. We need to create that bit of possession, and we need to, I suppose, dictate the tempo a little bit. Jason Knight will give you that. Will Smallbone, I think, will give you that as well, but I don't really think he's in contention. If we're going on that training game that happened last week, I don't think he's in contention to start. Maybe, who knows? But how we set up is going to be very, very important in possession, defensively, and kind of off the ball. I've no doubt that Malumbi will just run at those two lads and hopefully restrict the amount of time they have on the ball. You know, I know that sounds very formal, but it's I suppose, a practical way of looking at it for tomorrow night.
I think that's an excellent point. I think what the problem is here. He's got to go all in with his team. He's got to be his best team starting now. This is the game we can afford on Monday to play Troy Parrott in behind. If you want to, like, you know, if you're not going to start him today, it's not a massive thing against Greece.
Yeah,
I think what you do is you go with your strongest team here, and I think as well. I know Dave will love me for saying this, because this is what Mick struggled for years, didn't it? Not using the bench. Mikey Johnson's going to be massively important tomorrow. If he doesn't start, it's going to be his impact off the bench. And McLean, even, you could say that, or Will Smallbone. The players coming off the bench could very well be match winners for us tomorrow. And I think that's
finishers.
What we've got to be very clever. Yeah, I think that's what you've got to be clever about, though. Contain the game, stifle them, and just kill the atmosphere in game, because they'll be quite hostile, I imagine. You know, and their expectation will be quite high, because they will think they're in contention against Ireland, and that should be beating us.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, we're going to have in fine voice 2,500 Irish fans in there in fine voice.
They'll be under pressure, Greece. They'll be under pressure.
I think the key is if they approach it like a home game, because knowing Poet, the style of football they play, they'll be playing like an away side. Play like a home game. Your best midfield in Cullen, Knight, or Smallbone. I wouldn't have a problem with either one of those, but I reckon it'd be Knight, because he's just been in there a bit longer, and obviously Malumbi, that's your energy, that's your balance in there. You go with that. I don't want to see Hendrick. I don't want to see us going with caution.
It has to be three in midfield, doesn't it? Because I know against France it was a very functional team, and he went with kind of two sets of two, didn't he? And it worked.
It worked against France.
Yeah, because Agbani was stretching the defense, and he was creating the space. But with the Greeks, it's going to be a very different approach. It's not going to be about stifling them like we had to against France, or stretching the space. It's actually going to be holding on to possession in that heat. So we need to go three-man midfield. And on that, lads, what are our team predictions? I'll go with you first, Martin.
I'm going to go with, obviously, Bazunu in goal. I've gone with Collins, Egan, and Darragh O'Shea at the back, and the back three. On the left, Callum O'Dowd will play left wing back, I think. Possibly should be captain. I would have picked him as captain, to be honest.
Callum O'Dowd?
I was wanting Dave up to that.
Or Will was.
But
Callum O'Dowd or Will Smallbone for you.
Yeah, exactly. Doherty will start on the right, I think. Although I'd be interested to see Brown. You know, if he does want to contain it and keep the ball, he could easily go with him right wing back. But I think he'll go Malumbi, Cullen in the middle, and I think he'll go Obafemi and Ferguson up front. And I think the key man then is who comes in behind. It could be Knight, but I would actually go for Cousin Will, obviously with extreme bias there. And I think he might change it up for Monday again, but just bring Parrott in, I think, and probably deserves a little bit of a start again. But that would be my starting team.
David, your team?
Yeah, obviously Bazunu in goal. Left wing back, by the sounds of it, I think he's going to go with O'Dowd. He did speak about how he interchanges and how he can go in and can go out. It's not what I want, but I think that's what's going to happen. For me, O'Dowd, he's too pedestrian, he's too cautious, he's too professional. And I think Martin knows exactly what I mean. You know exactly what I mean,
You're
Martin.
picking on one game, though, Dave. You're picking against Norway.
No, I'm picking on it. I'm picking on the whole career. He doesn't run on. He doesn't run on.
He played very well in Malta.
Enough.
He played very well in Malta.
And, did he? Yeah, because that was a glistening performance, wasn't it?
And as well, when he's showing that in that role now. I know I don't want it to be the O'Dowda show.
That's like the most handsome man in prison.
What a great idea!
It always is the O'Dowda show
or a podcast. But he fantastic goal as well the last time. He can attack and he can defend. I think. Not where he is in this game. I think he's going to be on the front foot, and I think that's as well. Going back to Martin O'Neill's days with him when he used to get the ball in a half turn. I know I've repeated that often. I think this is the time for O'Dowda. Now this is the campaign for him. 28. If he stays fit, he would have started against France. He'd been fit. And that's hopefully the injuries behind him. But yeah, I would go with him there. But go on, Dave. What's the rest of your team?
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
At least you don't have the struggles of trying to pronounce Ogbene in this one.
He will go for down at left wing back. Obviously Ryan Manning's not available. I would be going with Ryan Manning. He's out because of personal situation. I don't actually know. I have no idea what that is. And it's going to be O'Shea. It's going to be Collins. It's going to be Egan. He's going to be captain. Right back, he's going to go with Doherty, and I think he will go with Cullen, Knight, and he will go with Malumbi. That works. That really does work. Yeah. I can see obviously McLean coming on at some point as a substitute, and I think he would. I think it's the same team actually you've gone with. Martin, Ferguson with Obafemi. Obafemi will give you that pace. Obviously, you'd want Ogbene there to stretch the play again. I'd actually like to see Smallbone start overnight because, to be fair with Smallbone, he's played at a higher standard of football. And also, it would sort of clear up that little competitive match issue as well, wouldn't it? Just saying. Because I'm not being funny, but I think when Ireland fans were worried about Evan Ferguson, Dublin-born Evan Ferguson, for playing for England because of fifth-rate Sky Sports.
Meath, Dave. Let's not offend people here. He's from Meath.
Meath is Dublin, and they're taking over anyway. And my brother lives in Westmeath. Oh, his neighbour's from Dublin. But anyway, he's a proud Dub as well. But yeah, when a fifth-rate Sky Sports reporter asks him a question, tongue firmly in cheek, and everybody's losing their mind, let's just get him on there. Let's get him signed up. To be honest with you, with Smallbone, I do think he is completely on board. Very nice guy. Did speak to him a couple of weeks ago. You jealous there, Martin? Spoke to Cousin Will.
I've spoken to Cousin Will many a time.
Yeah, I didn't mention you, by the way. Didn't mention you. Just saying. Didn't talk to you about you at all.
Dave, I thought you did mention him, and he was like, "Who's that? Who's Martin Prendergast?"
Yeah. I actually forgot about it. Yeah. But basically,
finish off your team there, Dave. Jesus.
Sorry. What was it?
You've gone with Ferguson and Obafemi up front, same as me.
Yeah,
he actually said Ogbene, I think, but we'll leave him off.
No, someone said Obafemi, you cheeky bastard. Right, okay. He said Ogbene.
Okay, lads, my team there. So Gavin Bazunu in goal, back three of Nathan Collins, John Egan, and Darragh O'Shea. And then the kind of midfield five, the two wing backs. So Matt Doherty, I think James McLean is going to start. And then the midfield three of Josh Cullen, Jason Malumbi, Jason Knight. And I think it's going to be a front two of Evan Ferguson and Mikey Johnson.
Ooh,
that's my wild card shout. However, I would like to see Will Smallbone start instead of Jason Knight, and I would like to see Callum O'Dowda start ahead of James McLean. But that's the team I think he's going to go with. I think Johnson, he's in a bit of form. I think he's a bit more game time than Obafemi. I think he's going to be that little wild card to go in as a striker.
It's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout, Michael Johnson, because again, it's the kind of idea of someone who a little bit. Like, I know it's not like playing and trying to contain the French, but it is that person who can come our way with the ball, look after it, stretch them with the pace,
create them.
And get free kicks and things like that. So
I think when you have a midfield like that isn't very creative. I mean, look, Jason Knight's very good in tight situations, a bit like Dave on Tinder. But but I think if you have a front two, someone like Ferguson, look, he's got good feet and all that, but he's going to be the guy you're looking to get into the goal scoring positions. We've seen it with Troy Parrott. He does have that creative flair, although a lot of people will disagree with that. He does play deeper, and Michael Obafemi is capable of that. I mean, look at the Scotland game last year where he assisted Troy Parrott, but he hasn't got a lot of game time, and Kenny values game time. So that's why I think Johnson's going to come in as an orthodox kind of deep-lying striker. But I wouldn't rule out. I don't know who. That's the big mystery, isn't it? Is it going to be a front three? Is it going to be a front two? I don't really know, but that's probably what I would go with. Lads, before we go, what are our score predictions?
I'll go first. I think it will be 1-0. I think Ireland will get a goal. I think we'll win 1-0.
Dave?
I'm sorry, Brian. I've got a very loud taxi next to me. I was like, "Do I stay?" There we go. I reckon 3-1 Ireland. We're going to go in there. We're going to be confident. We're going to be buoyant, and we're going to blow these lads away. Ew,
2-0 Ireland for me. I do smell a victory. I don't think this Greek team is as horrific as people are making them out to be. I do think that they're going to start well. I do think they're going to hold possession well, but I think we're going to stifle them. I think we're going to get a couple of scrappy goals. 2-1 for me.
And do you know the most important thing we have to remember from this? Do you know? You want to know what that is? I have another lanyard.
Oh, Dave, talk us through your plans for the next couple of days and where people can have the absolute displeasure of meeting you.
Under a rock. Well, no, I will be out and about. I don't know where I'm going to go, actually. I'm going to follow the noise. I haven't seen really any Irish fans today. I saw a couple on the metro because I've been up since 8:30 yesterday morning, as I said earlier on. But yeah, just going to be going around. Might pop around the old town. But yeah, if you do see me about, I might ask you for your opinion. I might ask you for a, little prediction, that kind of thing that we're going to play on the pre-show tomorrow, which I really can't wait for. How cool is that? Going to be live from Athens, the city of the gods.
Are you going to be asking anyone for some clips or some videos?
I thought you said something else there, actually.
Or some photos.
Yeah.
Like, are we going to go full Dahmer and ask for
Absolutely.
some photographs?
If you're watching this, send your photographs in. Send them in a private message. We'll actually put a little post up anyway, asking if you're match day ready. Send all your stuff in. We'll post them up. We'll put them on the stream. So I get attacked by fucking insects and everything. God, they all want a piece of me, lads. I'm so irresistible here. But yeah, no. I'll be putting videos on the stream, pictures, all that kind of thing. Anyway, and lads, you have to remember, we are the Fans Podcast.
Of course.
Yep.
As Martin and I sit at home.
Yeah,
look, don't get me started. I mean, I've already been crying to Dave all day saying I've completely
grassroots.
I'm not over there, and I've chosen
fucking grassroots
football.
Your
the team
country.
That, I know that, but like the Green Machine, we do support grassroots football, and that's what I'm otherwise engaged. I can't let down the youth of who the next generation.
It'll make them
Irish
stronger,
players.
Martin.
A lot of them probably do qualify for Ireland as well. We won't go down that route yet.
Jesus.
But look, I'm looking forward to it, Dave. Fantastic job over there.
Thank you.
Again, like I've seen lots of videos. Keep sending them over to us on different pages and profiles that we're on. And
once they're legal,
up, but enjoy it. Yeah, enjoy the game is what I'd say. And yeah, look, hopefully we'll all be set for Monday then.
Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow.
Fantastic. Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. So do keep an eye on our socials for the different episodes, the different streams that are going to be coming your way over the next few days. Very busy international window ahead. So we're going to leave it there. Will Ireland come away with a victory, or will it be a Greek tragedy?
Oh, hey.
Right. All the best. Take care and enjoy the game.